Alright, welcome back. This is the second part. Alright, you're the last man in the fence, and because you're a goalkeeper, you always have the advantage of when players are in the area. For example, what I just did was an airspace interception. I had the ability to use that skill because I'm a keeper. Keepers can use their hands and don't need their heads or jumping skill to acquire the ball in the air when fighting against the goalkeeper. Therefore, it is critical to choose your actions wisely and to choose the best possible combination what to do. This comes back together with positioning. If you are in a well-positioned move, you generally have a good chance of intercepting it. For example, this will probably be a cross, as I can anticipate this. Because I think this will be a cross, I will be standing approximately here just so I can get them. Because as you see, they are moving backwards, meaning they possibly could have momentum going into the downwards direction. Now you always have to be careful that you mark your angles. However, this is a little bit differently than crossing. As there is like a 0.1% chance he can possibly shoot the ball from here into the goal, there is a big chance that he will not be able to shoot. I think this will be cool. If that was a good cross, I would have been able to interact with the ball. Should we pass to him? Skills are very important. This will enable you to do the correct action and succeed with the action. The important skills for a goalkeeper are as following: handling, keeper positioning, passing with hands, and reflex. These are not all the skills. These are the main elements of goalkeeper skills. If you put everything here negative, these are the skills which will determine the main overall skill. However, there are other skills having great influence on how a great goalkeeper should be. These secondary skills, how I call them, are acceleration. Low passing is only for passing. Also very effective when having. However, high passing could be better. Anticipation. What else? I don't know this. One touch, very important for punching the ball. High pass is important when doing drop kicks or high passes or goal kicks. Aerial ability, that's I think a goalkeeper skill. Yeah, those skills will increase the chance of succeeding as well. Having high skills, such as star quality, which is I think 69 or above. No, 96. 69, yeah, 69. Or above. Having high skills will result in having better qualities. This is with every position. So, for example, with a striker having high shooting strength and shooting accuracy would mean that whenever you do an action, they are as accurate as possible. Even though goalkeepers don't use accuracy that often, it is sometimes, it is usually that when they shoot, if you have high skills, you will be able to interact with the ball better and will be able to succeed. Even though, as it doesn't say, there is a specific skill for fitness, stamina level, this is also a great factor influence to how great a keeper is. Let's say you are in a real football match playing as one of the players. If you are tired, you could underperform rather quickly. In other words, this is sort of a multiplier which multiplies how well you do in action. Even though stamina isn't the only one, very important, your confidence is also very important. Having high confidence would result in having a better actions, and yeah, this means that you will need to, if you are at the blue area, the lowest area, you would want to perform better than normal, because performing better will result in an increase in confidence. Confidence can be increased by training each day or playing matches and performing well. This also means that you will need a high match rating in order to improve. This takes quite a while though. Don't be fooled that even though the ball will be placed at the arrow, you can see that the opponent could get the ball over here. However, I intercepted the ball. Usually the best thing for a goalkeeper to do is to throw the ball. Either high or low would do good. You would want to throw the ball to a place where the opponent cannot get the ball, however your teammate can. Such as how I did. I did a pass that if he goes back, he will still be able to get the ball. I could have thrown it to 20 when he was here. However, the longer you pass the ball, the less accurate it will become. If there is no one open, no one available to pass the ball to, the minimum you could do is try your luck to do a drop kick to their opponent's half of of the field, because you don't want to pass the ball if they are close, where they can possibly score a goal from. Now, because I might not be positioned that well at the moment, I had my teammate there, meaning I trusted him to get the ball, and it worked out to be a great deal. About the drop kicks, the reason why you want to drop kick it if there's no one available here and everyone's marking is because it takes time for the opponents to pass the ball from somewhere in their area back to this area, meaning you can reposition yourself. Always think, when positioning, that 4 can get the ball at this area here. This is the area that you can get the ball from. The different types of areas are: green is at ground level, at your feet level. Orange is at chest height. And red is above your head, meaning you will not be able to get it. It is also important to keep an eye on the players at the moment, because even though he passed here, I saw that it is possible for him to pass to number 5. This means that if he passes, I will still be able to control myself to make a good position. However, because 9 cannot get the ball, I am sure that he got the ball. So 16, 18 got the ball, which is good. As you can see, I'm still sort of aligned. However, because this is my teammate and I trust him not to betray me with an own goal, I'll be sending it. Also, if he passes, well, possibly maybe only here, but I can still get the ball, because you can't shoot your own goal. Now this is a test match, meaning that this will only go to 60 minutes. Because you know that he will not be able to reach the box in time. As you might know, if you go inside the box, the time will extend until the ball is either a goal or out. Or a corner, I think, or throw in, something like that. Meaning that the game's over. Well, half time, so. If you know that the last move is not be able to get in the box, just always press Ctrl or Z, meaning you get that menu to either move or not move, and press not move. But this is because it reduces your stamina or fitness level each time you take an action. Also, every half time, as you see now, your stamina increases by a certain amount of percent. This percent is different from every person if you have different skills. The higher the percentage, the more you recover during half time. Now, even though I did a bot move here, what I do is that when my teammates take a kickoff, I usually stand between the dots. This is the dots, and this line. This is because, such as now, for example, it took me 2 moves to get to this area, meaning I lost a certain amount of percent, 0.5%, and every point counts because you don't want to be underperforming. However, if the opponents have the kickoff, I will usually be standing on the dot. This is because they will be unable to pass the ball from midfield all the way into the goal, because I can still reach the orange area. Even though the ball is here, I trust my teammate not to high pass the ball into the goal, unless you have someone who's really anxious to do that. You might want to watch out then. However, don't trust your teammates too often, because such as now, 6 Sebastian Schweinsteiger got the ball first, meaning there's always a chance that your opponent might, you might underestimate your opponent. Now with through balls, because this was a little bit too far, I will not be going towards it. You don't want to go to the ball if the opponent is too close. However, this requires lots of communication through the chat with the defenders of who will and who will not get the ball. Such as now, probably if this was a real game, 15 will say I get the ball, or I got the ball, or something on those lines. Now you always have to think that the opponent might win the ball, meaning you need to position yourself in the way that the opponent will win the ball. So just now, 15 got the ball. However, what if the opponent got the ball? He'll be able to pass the ball to either side, either side of the net, meaning I am covered now. If you get what I mean, you know. Now, so just now, I think the opponent will get the ball. Okay, or not? I'm pretty sure the opponent will get the ball now. Also, when going forward, do not do full momentum, because I think he will take another turn from getting the ball. I have put a little bit of momentum so that I can go a little bit extra further the next turn. See, 0 momentum, because I feel 8 will be able to get the ball. Now, because he has done a good pass to the opponents in a clear area, I need to retreat. Now, for example, I will be going full momentum back because I am out of the box. If the opponents have the ball and it is in a good position to possibly high pass the ball into the goal, you would like to have a full momentum back. Now, even though he passed behind me, I will still be able to do extra distance. You see, I can only go like half around there. But I can be in a good position, you know, now. But you know, 10 has good momentum. Okay, so just now, what do you think? How do you position yourself now? 10 is possibly able to get the ball, so I will position myself exactly here. If the ball comes here, He shoots. Here, you see, I can get the ball. Or he shoots. Here. Why do you need positioning? This is because you would like to have, if the ball goes exactly through the middle, right, through the middle of your dot, you have the greatest chance that the ball will be saved. This is just like a real life thing, you know. If you are playing a football match and you are a goalkeeper and someone shoots right at you, you can easily use your body to get into the trajectory of the ball, into the path of the ball, and save the ball. Now you don't want to be standing in the center of the dot if it's a long shot. Like for example, I'll show you later. You want to be in the center of the ball, and you want the ball to be in the center of the dot when you're saving it. This is a tricky problem because there is no defender here, and he will, well, I thought he was gonna high pass here, but he passed the ball over there, which is going to be out, but 10 got the ball, anyways, so we can stand here. Okay, it is important that when you get close, okay, that might be a problem, you want to use your Superman punch, or punch the ball if the ball is very close. So for example now, I'm not sure what type of shot control. Even though it's a controlled shot, I still would like to punch the ball because you want to increase the chance of succeeding. Like for example now, he didn't score a goal. Having high skills, even though I am the green team, I think, yeah. My reflex, as you can see here, is only 80. 80's level 80. 80.00. You do not need to have star qualities to save that ball. However, using a special, just like I did now, a Superman punch, increases the chance you will use an action. In other words, multiplies the ability and chance to do a good action. Still close to the ball, to the person who has the ball. So if he gets the ball, you want to position yourself back into the area. Great run, by the way. As a goalkeeper, you always need to be, well, not always, but mostly want to make sure that everyone sees the opponent, that no one, for example, is being miscounted. For example, I had a few games before where we were all playing at the top, right? And the opponent had the ball, and then all of a sudden there was an opponent running down the side here, like at the side, you know, and no one saw it because of the shade, or, well, dark uniform or something, you know. And a high pass was made, and he got the ball, and there was no defender, and he just ran up the side. You do not want to have that happen to you, because you know, you don't want to yeah. You always want to see that, for example, there's an opponent here where he can pass to, but then he can't really pass to any other than like in front of here or just here, so they can get the ball. Or of course 7, because he is a well, yeah, it's a small, like a lob type-ish pass. Okay. Now, what do you do here? Do you go back, forward, or not? Because I would like to stand here, because what if the opponent wins? You will not be able to pass the ball that far into this goal. I will still be able to get back in time, you know, and yeah. Even though this is offside, I would like to go in front, because sometimes when you are playing against an active team, what they sometimes do is they either wait or just go a little back and then go a little bit forwards to increase their momentum. You know, as they have high momentum, they will be able to accelerate very quickly, more faster than a defender if the defender didn't see it. Now, because you saw that 21 was offside, usually as a goalkeeper, if you were this person here, you would just want to go out to intercept the ball, instead of your defender going to get the ball. This is because if the defender is here, this means that offside will be here. If your goalkeeper comes out, if you have a goalkeeper with good high passing skills and vision passing, usually the team goes back and creates open spaces so that the goalkeeper can pass the ball to and sort of use a counter against the other team. Like, for example, now the defenders are here, there is no offside. 21 and 22 can get the ball if he wins from the goalkeeper and the ball and the other person, which is very unlikely, but still can happen. That could be a real problem. Now, because 11 can't get the ball, I would like to rush out. However, because I know 15 can get the ball, I won't exhaust my fitness level from this. And you see, another one has been kicked up the field. Okay, what you just saw was the ball going through two people. This sometimes happens when there is a group of people trying to interact with the ball to get the ball in the air. You can imagine being in a group and the ball passing yourself, because you know you don't look with how the ball is moving. You try and outbeat your opponents, or both were trying to fight for the ball but missed. Right, that could be also a possibility. Now 11 is a good position. If I was their place, I would want to high pass it. Now this is an example of a through pass. This, I think he wanted to pass it here. However, he was unable to get the ball. This is way too long. I would like to go full momentum backwards, because I know I will be able to interact with the ball. You don't want to have low momentum, because then you can't run as fast as thing. Also, the closer you get to the ball, you don't want to have full momentum where you interact with the ball. Now that I will be able to interact with the ball, and he not even able to, I just want to receive the ball and have zero momentum. That's very important, because as soon as you high pass the ball or pass the ball to someone, here's the thing, you want to go as quickly as possible back into the box. Having high skills would mean you pass the ball better. Okay, it goes a good pass. This is, for example, a pass where the opponent can't get the ball early, and well, my team can. Now you want to go back with a little bit of momentum, because you know, you don't know what will happen next. Like, for example, the opponent tackled the ball. Now you can get the ball back. Even though this person is offside, doesn't matter, because you can intercept the ball if, yeah. Okay. Because of the momentum, I can go all the way up to here, while some people can only move, you know, small distances. But I am back in position. When it's one-on-one, no matter on the angle, you need to position yourself so that the two posts are marked as best as possible. When it's 2-on-1, you need to make sure that the opponents, that you see both opponents and know that you need to do something to intercept the ball. Now, because my stats are pretty low, like for example, I want to go back there because I have the correct momentum. Now you want to make sure that both angles are marked. Like for example, now I'm in bad position because he will be able to hit the ball possibly into that goal. For a cross, if it's like this, you need to make sure that you can anticipate where the ball is coming. If you pass it here, you need to go forward. Okay, that's the only chance thing you can try and do, because if you go forward, you mark the balls better than normal. And this is, by the way, time. It's time, by the way. So, because it's time, you just want to shoot the ball out, I guess. Or if you want to go for that last minute rating, just, try and pass the ball to someone close, like in the area here. But yeah, with goalkeepers you like to go back to this area here as well. Because now I have some time rating and you can't get the ball. If it's in the last minute and there's a throw in on the corner, you like to get into the opponent's area because the extra man always helps in the defense or attack. Nine rating is pretty nice. Okay, that's there now. They're taking a goal kick. I like to stand on the dot. It's actually pretty fun because now it's Friday. Yeah. Usually when the ball is passed backwards, I like to go out a little bit because the opponents are coming forward. There could be an area here where they can pass the ball to and you can quickly intercept it. However, do not overuse it because if they manage to get the ball, it will be a goal. Saturday too. Okay, a through ball has been played. It could be that 10 has momentum. Let's see. And I think, I'm not sure, you will be able to get the ball. So, if you are not sure, right, if you will get the ball or not, always go back and go for plan B. Now, this was a, I knew he was not going to get the ball anyways, because his, how do you say it, the arrow was not, like, fully. Now this required, in this sort of situation, you might be focusing on this area. Check 11. Usually for attack you just stay at the side, okay? Always for an attacker it's best, the best option is to shoot it from down the side, which is now like that, exactly. I think that's a goal. And then you need to check on the amount of bars and saves and stuff like that. Now, because of my stats are very low, I just punch the ball because punching the ball increases the chance of succession on interacting with the ball. Saving is more or less like making sure you hold on to the ball. punching the ball, you don't have control over where the ball bounces afterwards, other than handling. Handling? No, passing. Either handling or passing the ball, where it increases where it will go. Yeah. After this, I think it will become penalties. Penalties, you always like to punch the penalty, because as I told you earlier, it increases the chance of succession, and well, from a penalty you can't do anything afterwards anyways. Saving the ball means you can actually hold on to the ball. However, this is not always possible, because sometimes in this chat down below, the match flow, if you have a very low star rating with saving, I think it's only a red star when you get it. It says something about your name, your number, your name, minutes, save, made it hard for the goalkeeper, and made bad charges, something like that, you know. And then that's the only time the ball bounces off you. And but however, unlike a punch, you can still interact with the ball, exactly the move following that. With a punch, you have to wait a turn after, because after that, you know, because I'll give you a real life example. If you punch the ball, like for example, you do a diving save, right? You save the ball, and then you're on the ground. Okay. Now, if you're on the ground, you need to stand up first in order to do another action. So that standing up could be the action of the goalkeeper in fit. A bad save could possibly be a real life example when you try and save the ball, like intersect with the ball. However, you already fall back on your back or something like that, and the ball bounces off your chest or something, you know. Like, yeah, that is a bad save. However, you can still get the ball because you are still, well, you haven't fallen down or something, you know. How long is the penalty take? 17 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the past few years,
Okay, another pass has been made, and I'm pretty sure that Levin can't get the ball because he just moved back. Like I showed you before, go to the ball. Now, because they can't get the ball, unless they're like teleportation thing, which doesn't exist, just grab the ball when it's, well, at you. For a save, you like to have the ball in the center of the dot. Not like this, but an actual, like, the dot in the center. Full momentum going backwards because you want to go back to your goal. A goalkeeper isn't like a striker. Oh, nearly 10 match rating. Okay, with penalties, there's no really good way to win for penalties. Penalties is all about luck and, well, luck and also a bit skills. I'm here, by the way. Oh, it's me. Always punch the ball. Nearly. I'm here. Let's get ridiculous. And the save has been made. All the time I just see you at school. It used to fight, I just had to play it cool. You blow my mind, all the crazy things you do. I see that you wanna act a fool, so baby, let's get ridiculous. I'm laid back, I'm feeling this. Phil to punch the ball. I know you're feeling this. Come on, baby. Let's get ridiculous. I had the ball, however, I failed to punch the ball. Couldn't believe it. Failed to punch the ball. Bye. Alright, the deciding move. Dum, bum, 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 bum. Oh, into the top corner. So close. They're all so close. If this is a goal, we win. And we win! Woo! Alright, now this is for skills. As a goalkeeper, there are first primary skills and secondary skills. I will be going over the primary skills first and then over the secondaries. Primary skills determine the main factors of a goalkeeper. These usually are in the keeper section, right here. They include aerial ability, keeper position, reflexes, handling, and passing with hands. There are also some others, anticipation and one touch. However, they are not in the keeper section because they are also they need also for other players, like field players. Aerial ability. Aerial ability decides the goalkeeper's ability to handle situations where they have to fight for and intercept the ball in situations where the ball is in the air. This is usually important for example, if they make a high cross inside your area. Having a higher aerial ability means you can fight for the ball better. It is also important, it's like a fighting skill. Together with fearlessness, you can win the fight for the ball. Sorry, my cat is eating Twix paper. Secondary on the thing is keeper position. Keeper's positioning determines how well you are positioned. As it defines keeper position skills, how well a goalkeeper can position their body in order to have the most advantageous point of performing any of their keeper actions. It's, for example, if they make a shoot from the side and you are placed exactly in the center of the shot. Having a high keeper positioning would mean that you could win fight for the ball much more easier than having a low keeper position. This is one of the skills I advise you guys to have high skills on. Reflexes. This is probably the most important skill for a goalkeeper. It determines how quick you can react when trying to save a shot. Reflexes determine actually more about closer shots. However, reflexes are used in every single situation, every type of action you do. Reflexes, having a higher reflexes would mean that your character is more likely to react faster and thus perform any of their keeper actions. I really advise having a very high reflexes because it is important for a keeper to react, because they are the only player on the field which can actually save the ball. Handling. Over here. Handling is a skill that decides how well a keeper handles the ball with their hands and how a keeper can hold onto the ball while saving. You might have seen before when a keeper tries to save a shot, the ball seems to bounce off their bodies. This is a bad save, and bad saves usually come because you have a low handling skill. Handling skill also means that if you, for example, intercept a ball with your hands, it also increases the chance you actually intercept the ball. Just trying to make a different song. Here we go. Maybe this one. Yeah, handling also affects. So this is this one. Yeah, this one. Passing with hands. This is important for if you want to throw accurate passes. We'll just go to a cool song. It also does another thing, which if you, for example, punch the ball, it affects. It's like a small factor which calculates the, and then it says they make the score own goal. High passing with hands would reduce the chance of occurring that. Don't think about this. Right, so acceleration. Some managers claim to have a good acceleration is a key to intercept balls. When a pass, for example, high pass, is wrongly made by the opponents. Acceleration is just like, well, yeah, you probably know already, but acceleration is how quick the attributes that decides how quickly a footballer can reach their maximum movement speed, reach your maximum speed more quickly. Then agility. Agility is also one of those skills which is very important. It is similar to keeper position. However, agility means how agile you are. In other words, how good you are, for example, like making a save. Over here. It says that agility is how well a footballer can move their body and its different parts fluently and quickly. Like, for example, if the ball is out of reach, if the ball is not in the center of the dot when you save the ball, and for example, if the ball is just on the rim or something of the circle, a high agility skill would mean you could save the ball better, because you have high agility and because you can move your different parts of the body quickly, like hands and legs and stuff like that. Speed, yeah, mine fell, so it's not 61, but speed determines how fast you can maximally move. This really affects the momentum as well. You might have seen the arrows which I've done before. Having a high momentum would mean that you're, together with the acceleration, reach your speed more quickly. Well, you know, have a higher speed would mean you can like dribble past everyone without them even reaching you. One touch. It is a rumor, or I don't really know for sure if it really is a skill. However, I think, because it says keeper specific here, over here, that I think when doing a punch, you are not intended to actually save the ball, and with saving the ball, trying to interact the ball without intention keeping it, I mean actually holding on to the ball, like making a save. So I think one touch is increasing the chance of doing a punch. Higher one touch would mean a better chance for the punch to actually happen. For me, I think it's a good skill, so I advise you guys to have it as well. High passing. It's not really a sub skill, but it's always a skill. It's handy. Passing, like for example, high passing is not only when making a high pass, but also when making a goal kick. It is basically it says it will be able to show that footballers make accurate long passes and precise crosses. However, you don't really need crosses for a goalkeeper. Yeah, it basically means your accuracy, and together with vision, which I'll come later, they are really good to have if you don't want to make mistakes with high passes. However, I do not advise for players under the age of, I guess, 21 to train their high passing, because having a keeper who can actually save the balls is better and make terrible passes is still better than a keeper who can't save any balls and who will make amazing passes, you know what I mean. Low passing, well, I don't really have it high because I don't really low pass often. However, well, yeah, I don't really know why you need it, other than the fact if you make an interception and all the players are free except for like a defender or something which is close, you know, you can pass the ball low. But usually the closer you pass, the more accurate it will become. Therefore, having a high pass which is pretty high, this song will be this one. Having a high pass and vision would mean that your long passes, which are usually less accurate, would be more accurate. So, yeah. Curving, It's, I think, a skill around, yeah, it's a skill that relates to how well football can hit the ball, passing or shooting around the opponent with their feet. It could be possibly one of those skills which increases the chance that the opponent will not be able to get the ball. However, I think more midfielders and stuff need curving, or, you know, as a goalkeeper you're not passing that often, probably like maximum 5, 6, 7 times, you know, but you don't really need curving in my opinion. Blocking, for players who are new, like goalkeepers who are new, blocking is not a skill used to block the ball. Just keep that in mind. Blocking is more used for using your feet. Saving or punching the ball is using your hands. Meaning you do not want to have a high blocking skill, because you can better invest in other goalkeeper skills. The reason why I have 18 is because I made that silly mistake of thinking that blocking the ball is actually blocking and saving the ball at the start. So yes, anticipation, very important. Just go over here. Yeah, my mouse, there's something wrong with my mouse. Anticipation, how when the football is in your circle dot, when making a interaction with the ball, anticipation like helps saving the ball, and together with every other skill, it increases the chance for your footballer to actually know what to do and when, because your footballer with high anticipation knows or is able to predict the trajectory or the path of the ball. So it says here it's keeper specific to be able to predict the ball strategy of path. It's great importance for receiving the ball, but also deciding when, how to get the ball before the opponents. This together with what is it? Acceleration and speed. If you want to intercept the ball, you know, you can get the balls as well. Fearlessness, unless you actually fight for the ball. Fight the ball, I mean like actually trying to compete against your opponents for winning for the ball. I don't really think you need fearlessness, because a goalkeeper already has the advantage using their hands, meaning they can reach the ball much higher than their opponents can, because they can only use their head to, for example, hit the ball or stuff like that. Right, oh, I missed one. Vision. Vision together with high pass, low pass increases the chance and the accuracy. I'm not sure because I haven't like seen it, but if you have a high pass of level 96, you know, and a vision of very low, I think it's less effective. I think it's better to have around, like I have 73 and 62, because from my experience, mine very rarely move off targets. And this is a cool song by the way. Heading, shooter, you don't need these skills. Shooting strength. When I started playing the game, I thought shooting strength is how well you can hit a goal kick, how far. However, that has nothing to do with the amount of power of his shot. It's only for strikers, so just to keep an eye on that. Skills which you don't really need. Well, jumping, because you can use your hands. Make sure you don't have like a level like 10 or something. At least you don't really fight for the ball that often. Balance, you don't really need balance in my opinion. It's just when handling high balls, and the music stopped. Handling high balls for, but I'll go over the skills later. You don't really need balance if you have the airspace interception. Stamina, it is just one of the skills you need. However, it is personal preference. How well you do. Like for example, having a high stamina would mean that you get tired less quickly. The less tired you are, the better you perform during matches. Just quickly read about the song. So I know what it says. Another song. Ball control. You don't really need that. You don't walk with the ball. Tackling. Well, I'm not sure, because with tackling you can tackle the ball with the hands. However, you nearly always win with tackling with hands. So I don't really have it high. Unless you want to be like the first ever goalkeeper. I don't know how many goalkeepers it is. If you want to be like a goalkeeper which actually acts like a mid. Talk about ball pass, blocking. You don't really need blocking because you're not blocking the ball. Scoring position, unless you like are a striker, you don't really need. For being goalkeeper, for being in your area when interacting with the ball, you have like a separate thing. You know, it's like special. Fearlessness. Having a special really effective, but I don't know why you actually need it. Heading, shooting accuracy, and scoring strength, you don't really need those. Those are only for striker skills. And well, the keeper attributes. Skills. Skills basically act as a multiplier to your attributes. Actually, the most common skills which you might need: successful making a punch. I really advise players to get at least a 2-star Superman punch because it's really effective. Levels, as you can see with the stars, the higher you get into stars, the more longer it will take for a skill to train. Therefore, having 5 stars usually takes a long time. However, the 4 already takes a long time as well. You see the main changes in 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. 4 to 5 is like around similar percentage you get increase. Next is lightning save. Oh, by the way, Superman punch. I think it affects the one touch, reflexes, and like positioning, agility, and stuff. Yeah, but mainly affects the one touch ability. Lightning save. Lightning save. You can only use it once. Oh, by the way, Superman punch you can use it twice. Lightning save, you can only use it once. Use one. It increases the chance of you actually making a correct save, not a punch, but a save, like holding onto the ball. It increases the. Let's see. I think it increases the anticipation. Aerial ability depends if it's in the air. Keep position and of course reflexes. Yeah, but usually with a skill like that, unless it's a very hard shot, they tend to not usually go off targets. What's happening? Airspace interception, basically, it's like the Zidane interception. You can use it twice per match. It affects how well you can intercept and fight for the ball in the air. You only need it actually for like a cross or something, or actually, like only a high pass. You can only do it for field players more often, because Zidane Redemption usually uses their head, while airspace interception is actually using your hands to, together with jumping, to get the ball. As if I get this thing loaded. Maradona pass, it's like a skill you might need for later. Oh, there we go. So I have a penalty area, and yeah, you can use it twice per match. It's a spelling mistake here, brother. Receive. Yeah, airspace interception. You don't often, unless you are like in the. It seldom comes, so you don't worry about that. I advise to have Superman Punch the highest, Lightning Save second highest, or the same as Superman Punch. Like for example, I'm still training this one. And Airspace Interception, well, slowly like after behind it, you know. There's also some other skills, like one I've seen from someone that uses a Maradona pass. However, that's only for passing, you know, like making interception and then passing the ball. Here we go. It's used one time per match. No, not two times. One time per match here. One time per match. It increases the chance of succeeding a high pass. And you can only use when the football is in possession of the ball. Once pass the ball high to the teammates. So that's pretty much the skills. Depending on the skills, you can also act differently on the ball. If you have reflexes, let's say between a controlled shot and a hard shot, okay? A controlled shot is more accurate. However, they are easier for the goalkeeper to intercept or to interact. A hard shot is harder for a goalkeeper to save. However, it is less accurate. This also means that there's also bars you have to look at. And down the page, there are bars. If you have a reflex of very low, I suggest having, let's say, a controlled shot of 1 to 2 bars to save the ball, and 3, 4, or 5 to punch the ball. Whereas having being up against a hard shot, 1 bar usually is safe. Such as me, for example, I have 7-star qualities. It is better to usually 1 to 3 bars, controlled shots, to save the ball. 4 and 5, not 3, 4 and 5, to punch the ball. And with a hard shot, depending on the shooter, so you have to analyze the players before you. Usually with a hard shot, 3 bars you punch. However, you can possibly also save the ball. 2 and 1 bar hard shot is a save, and 4 and 5, possibly 3, is a punch. Usually what I do is, if it's a hard shot. Alright, so for a hard shot, usually what I do with a hard shot is, if the ball comes towards me and I see that it is either 1 or 2 bars, I usually tend to save the ball. And then if it's hard, 3, 4, or 5, I punch the ball. However, if I have no Superman punches left and it's a critical shot, sometimes if I have a lightning save, I will be able to, if it's only a 3-bar shot, try and use the lightning save, because it really helps in saving the ball. You can only do this, however, when you have, well, first of all, good lightning save level, like I advise at 3 or higher, and you have, of course, good skills. It's not team training. So yeah, you need good skills like that. Alright, so I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. If there's any questions regarding any goalkeeper skills, feel free to ask, comment down below, or even subscribe, you know. Good luck with being goalkeeper, and hopefully if you train these tips which I've given you and train skills, you will probably be as good as me. Smile. song.
Come to decide that the things that I try will in my life is to get high on. When I sit alone, come get a little known, but I need more than myself this time. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, then I do believe that we rely on. When I lay it on, come get the play on, all my life to sacrifice. Hey yo, listen what I say. I got your hey yo. Now listen what I say. When will I know that I really can go to the well one small time to decide on? When it's killing me, when will I really see all that I need to look inside? Come to believe that I better not leave before I get my chance to ride. When it's killing me, what do I really need? All that I need to look inside. Hey, oh, listen what I say. Come back and hey, oh, look at what I